abbiamo una sposa, come triste l'attesa.
Hello and welcome to episode 23 of our Let's Play Hearts of Iron series of Lee. The big news from last time was the landings around Leningrad. We pushed deeper into the Caucasus, captured Tbilisi. But as you can see, all the American partisans here have been driven back, but Bulgaria is gaining most of that ground. It doesn't bother me that much at the moment. The Japanese have landed in Oman, and it's a stalemate in Central Africa, I suppose. Southeast Asia, the Japanese are doing alright. And otherwise, I think it's all pretty much same as it has been for a while now. Or rather, I should say there's gradual changes. So, let's just get things started here. I don't really have that much of a plan for this episode, other than just to try and continue driving the Soviets back where I can, and hope that the Germans advance enough to relieve the pressure. Well, there's not really any pressure, but the Germans advance enough that we can attack out of our pocket around Leningrad. Just these few attacks on the Caucasus, helping us push the Soviets back. Oh, and actually, partisans are getting near to our supply lines here, which could be very unfortunate. Well, actually, they just blocked our supply lines, but we won quickly. I don't think it'll make that huge a difference. We've got two large ports right in Georgia. I can push the front forward a little bit here. That kind of looks like it for now. Oh, good division left behind. I managed to have two divisions in that little province. Like again, these guys aren't going to be very effective against the partisans, because the partisans can always run away. But it's better than nothing. And it might stop some of that territory going to the Bulgarians. I'm going to have to start spreading the front a bit thinner in the Caucasus now. I mean, having one corps per province is nice, but it's a bit extravagant. And we managed to lose an attack there. It's been a while since that happened. Okay, now would be a good time to attack, but my forces are weak. We'll see how it goes. Get some support from nearby. Just going to have to wait for them to get organised enough before they can advance again. Actually, I just realised I could be using these headquarter divisions to occupy territory abandoned by the militia. Oh cool, they attack one, or succeeded. It kind of looks like we've already grabbed all the easy victory points. And the Soviets, well, they're close to surrendering, but still got a little way to go. It doesn't really seem like there's anything hugely important in the Caucasus. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't grab it anyway. Oops. Ordered the headquarters division to attack without any infantry support. It's probably fairer than the way wars are usually fought, but a lot less effective. Just sending all the generals off to die by themselves. Oh, the Soviets have no chance there. Whereas here, things look a bit more even. But we'll leave it go, see what happens. I was not paying attention there, and Soviets have launched a pretty successful counterattack. Yep, they just won that little battle. I've got 2 divisions going into that province, so hopefully they'll be able to defeat the Soviets. Just get this garrison division and the other one. It's around here somewhere. These 2 guys can go kind of cover the gap in the line of garrison divisions along the coast there. Oh, we are not doing well down the south either. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to handle that. I really want to push forward more up here, but I don't want to leave gaps in my lines. I mean, I literally can't spread it any thinner than I have without leaving gaps. I was thinking last episode of bringing the garrison divisions over to hold the line, but I know I'm kind of just not that confident in the garrison division's actual ability to do that. Like, they have not performed well against the Western Allies, and the Soviets aren't that much worse. This looks like it's going alright. Just alright, but should work out in the end. Just get some divisions to go cover the gap in our lines here. Not that I really think the Soviets will exploit it, but you never know. And if they do exploit it, it doesn't matter that much. I've got plenty of divisions in a position where they could just cut them off. I think I could actually attack here and just rush forward and fix our new line on the Baltic coast. If that'll work. And so long as I can keep driving whatever the Soviet forces in that area back, which at the moment just looks like there's one division, I'll gain a bit of ground and not really take a huge risk doing this. One thing I dislike is the pop-ups keep popping up. Well, actually that's pretty much it, they keep popping up when I'm trying to click on something. But I suppose that's what pop-ups do. Well, the Germans have advanced into Crimea. It's not actually too far before they link up with the Caucasus again. I say again because you might remember it happened in 1942. It's now 1946, 4 years later. Huh. Soviet Union wants some of our aircraft. Not Soviet Union. Argentina wants to buy some of our aircraft. Don't know how I got those two countries mixed up. But yes. Argentina may have some aircraft, provided they give me money for them, and they do all the building and whatever. So yeah, I'm not going to send my garrison troops over, I'll just bring them back to Italy. I really should upgrade them or do something to them because I just can't see myself using them for the rest of the war. And I could use some more infantry, or even just militia would be more useful than garrison troops I think at the moment. I was just trying to click on a headquarters division and 2 infantry divisions, but that didn't want to happen. Cool, got another armoured division, which will allow us to push the front forward in the Leningrad area by a tiny bit. Partisans in France now. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ignore them. Okay, let's try this. Infantry's still a bit disorganised, but we should win this battle. Oh yeah, because their divisions are actually even worse off. And then hopefully we'll be able to hold the province as well. Might as well just keep pushing forward. And this attack is not looking as well as the previous ones. I feel like I've got a bit of momentum going, so we'll just let it happen. And I'll just change this guy's movement order a little bit, so that hopefully they'll be able to either surround or overrun this Soviet division. which is at very low strength and very disorganised. So I'll get some battleships over here to help to blow it apart. Okay, hopefully that division's about to get overrun. Oh, here we go. Yep. And I really don't think the Soviet Union's in a position to be replacing entire divisions at the moment. It seems marginal, but we are wearing that division down. And the division in reserve there is going to be completely useless if it ever gets into battle. So I'm fairly confident there. Oh, we just won, so yay. Supply situation looks pretty good. Okay, and these divisions are arriving at awkward times. I think it was in Hearts of Iron 2, there was a command to synchronise the arrival of divisions into place, which I found very useful. But it is gone for Hearts of Iron 3. Which is a shame. Well, especially since you've seen the number of battles where my Hekel's division's gone and attacked on its own, conquered the province, and then immediately loses it because they don't actually have any soldiers. And having a synchronised orders, a synchronised arrival option again, would actually be really great for that, or preventing that, which is a minor annoyance, but an annoyance nonetheless. Sorry about that, just had to run to the toilet. Well, didn't have to, but I chose to. Things... well, no, that division couldn't hold on its own. Which means I'm going to guess the next division that's going to wander into that province probably also can't hold on its own. So we'll probably have to launch another attack there to capture the province. I just keep flicking through the victory mode going, well, how far away is the next objective? And this is actually worth our trouble pushing the guys forward the way that I am. The answer is yeah, probably. For some reason there are a lot of Romanian soldiers going into the Soviet Union when they're not even at war with the Soviets. It doesn't actually look like anything the Germans are going to capture soon are all that important either. Okay, I didn't even have to tell it to transport it automatically. That's alright, I suppose. I don't think this division's actually going to move the front forward very much at all. I just don't see... I could go and capture that victory point, but that would just be a random thing sticking out in front of my line. Just move everybody along one. And no, that's... well, no, that'll work, but... it seems like kind of a waste. So no, let's not do that. Okay, everybody's back to where they started, and we'll just check out things down here. This attack's been going for a long time, and it's doing alright, but it's never doing great. In this one we're doing well, but very slowly. We'll get some of these guys to go and attack down south. Simply because they are, well, currently ready to attack and actually in good fighting condition. And they'll just, yeah, move these disorganised troops back up to the rest of their corps on the front line. And they should be able to look after each other for a while. And we've immediately lost their province. So we'll just get our tanks to attack into the mountains, as has been a familiar trend in this playthrough, but oddly enough it seems to work for me quite often. I think that seems to be about all I could do over here, with the new armoured division coming in. We'll gain a little bit more ground, but I would have hoped for more. Oh cool, the Americans have almost been defeated in Anatolia. I want to kind of push the line in the Caucasus furthermore, but we're not doing well on the flanks, and I don't want to advance the centre too far where our flanks are not secure. But it's not that they're not secure, it's more that they just are struggling to advance, or advancing more slowly than I'd like. I mean, we'll still push the front forward fair distance this episode, at least on this northern flank. In the south here we just keep changing that, what's it, Bassa, I guess, car, just keep changing whoever owns that. But I might as well get this attack going forward. I mean, if we do well here, then we can kind of start driving in towards Baku along the plains there. I keep going back to the Baltic front, just because I'm sure there must be somewhere where I'm able to advance, but just can't see anywhere. Okay, let's just start driving forward a bit in the centre here. At least trying to. With our Alpine Corps supporting, they should be able to go forward pretty quick. Okay, we're getting closer. Actually, I think that's about the same as where it was before, but whatever. Soviet Union still pretty close to surrendering. It's kind of at the point now where if I did push forward and grab Moscow without losing anything important, it probably would knock the Soviet Union out of the war. But I'm not sure I can do both of those. You know, drive forward, capture Moscow, without losing any of these little ones that I've already gained, I've already captured. Guessing soon though, based on how fast the Germans are advancing. Okay, let's try and keep moving forward. Okay, still a while before they arrive to capture that province though. I mean, it's... well, I was going to say it's the problem, but no, it's one of the problems of fighting in mountains. It takes a long time to get anywhere important. And I have no spies in the Soviet Union. I'm hoping that the Germans have lots, because we want to be using our spies to lower their national unity as well as our soldiers. Let's just try pushing a little bit further forward, just to see how this goes. And the answer looks like not particularly well. So I just think it's amazing how getting 5 armoured divisions to attack somewhere just will dramatically improve your chances of victory. It actually looks like we might win both these battles. And just have a front line that's spread very thin on that particular sector. Oh, and that battle's not going well. They managed to get a bunch of divisions together to attack us in that one spot. And yep. I think those guys will do alright. I mean, at the moment they're, well, the yellow 34, where if they get up to 100 they win, but, well, there you go, it just dropped to 37. I think it'll increase over time. So I just ordered that division to stay behind, because it occurred to me that pushing 2 out in front while only leaving 1 to guard their retreat is probably the wrong way of doing that. So I should put 1 out in front, 2 making sure it doesn't get surrounded. And we're falling back even more towards Tbilisi there. Cool, another armoured division. actually the Germans are getting close enough that we can skip using the ships. I suppose I should be trying to get get my infantry forward to try and link up with the Germans a bit quicker. Okay, it looks like we've got another fairly significant partisan uprising in the south of France, which is kind of unfortunate. Well, it's a minor inconvenience, I suppose. And yeah, I don't think we really need to capture that province. Alright, well we've linked up with the Germans. We've actually managed to encircle a significant number of Soviet divisions there. Which I should make some efforts towards forcing to surrender. Can't let Germany do everything. Well, I could, but I shouldn't. And so now we're just going to have to, well, keep advancing the front, I suppose. Well, we can now. Start moving the front forward toward capturing more of the Soviet Union. Actually, I suppose it's going to be a race between myself and Germany to see how much we can capture. I really want these two attacks to succeed, but I'm not actually that confident. I just think my divisions have been worn down too much in driving straight up and over the mountains like they are. The Soviets have a lot of divisions in that province, but they all seem to be very are either headquarters divisions or very under strength. So they shouldn't actually be too much trouble for kind of our 4 infantry divisions. Those guys lost another battle in Balakan, which was unfortunate, but they were very disorganised, so I suppose it's about what you'd expect. Yeah, see those 2 divisions, if they win this battle, and they go and occupy those provinces, they're not going to be able to hold it for very long because they're so disorganised just from the efforts to capture it. So I'll just get them to sit back and reorganise before we try this again. Very close. Whereas these ones look to be in alright enough condition. And here I just feel like I've got to keep my infantry moving forward, just to prevent the Soviets from regrouping anywhere. Or regrouping is probably the wrong word, but like reorganising, getting reinforcements, all that kind of good stuff. Whereas over here, right on the Baltic, I think the Soviets are actually kind of screwed. And just because we've got a big gap in our lines doesn't mean we can't keep going forward in the Caucasus. We're just going to have to wait for those 2 divisions to regain some organisation, and then we can start moving forward there again. Cool, my armoured division's arrived. And we can start kind of a general advance along the front, or at least along a good chunk of the front there. Just push everyone forward a little bit. At the moment I kind of feel like I'm racing the 16th Panzer Division. But we've kind of got an unfair advantage given that they're in Panzer Division, well, we have infantry. But we're given a good showing. Soviets really aren't coming into my considerations all that much at the moment, at least not on this front. Simply because they're spread much too thin, and they actually seem to have very few frontline soldiers. Plenty of HQ divisions, but it doesn't really matter how many officers you throw at me, it's not going to stop us. Well, at least not unless they've got a bunch of people with guns there to help them. And unfortunately, the one or the two divisions that I really need to start regaining organisation aren't getting any supplies, which is very inconvenient for me. 1/16th Panzer Division, better clear. And my armoured division in German territory there, it actually keeps running out of fuel, which is very inconvenient for me. But I suppose it also means that that 16th Panzer Division is also going to be running out of fuel. So we'll have hope of beating it in the race. Because you know that's what's important. It's not that our side eventually wins, it's who gains what territory. Okay, this is looking alright. Kind of reluctant to advance into Eastern Prussia here, just because I'm getting territory for the Germans, and they can gain, recapture their own homeland. But I'll grab this last province off the Soviets, or the last one that I could grab to add to my little Baltic Empire. And I'll get all these guys to, well, join the race to Moscow, I suppose. Actually, yeah, I suppose there's a race to Moscow. But I really have to do something down here. But it can wait. Well, actually, it probably can't wait wait, because at any moment the Soviets could cut off a decent 7 or so of my divisions, which you might notice is not generally recommended. We're actually getting pretty close to Smolensk. That would be something worth capturing. Just win this battle, then we'll get him to withdraw. Oddly enough, the Germans don't have any soldiers there to fight those last few Soviet divisions. We're now 83.5% of the way to surrendering. Just charge straight into Smolensk. Oddly enough, it'll probably actually work out fine for them. Yeah, I think that'll do alright. Oh, now soldiers starting to run out of supplies. Okay, maybe we'll actually have to advance down and defeat the Soviets there, since they can launch attacks on us. Yeah, that's been a long time coming. Just kind of hoping that this, well, the 131st Division here would be able to do it on its own, but it couldn't. Now, if you were paying attention there, yes, we are using the E50 medium tank as our standard tank, which you might also recognise as being a German tank that they probably intended to actually be in service around this time. Being actually, it's almost 1947. Okay, things are looking pretty good in the Caucasus here. Even though it's winter and we are attacking into mountains. So I mean, this should be going really poorly for us. Instead it's looking kind of okay. For along this kind of Smolensk sector of the front, I just think we're going to create, well, quite significant advances by the time this all gets sorted out. Those guys being forced back to Tbilisi, but hopefully that means they can get some supplies there. Also had some more partisans pop up in Turkey, but hopefully they'll be dealt too quickly. Okay, we should capture Smolensk pretty soon. Truth be told, we're probably actually going to have to start slowing this advance down soon because the Germans haven't been able to keep up. And I still don't really want to have gaps in my front lines. Although once I get those other 3 divisions, we'll be able to push it forward quite a bit more. And I think we still can actually go forward quite a bit safely. Okay, looks like Smolensk will fall, but it won't be enough to force the Soviets to surrender. Although I think it is actually a pretty important city in the Soviet Union. Modern day Russia, unless it's in Belarus, in which case it's a very important city in Belarus. Well, Moscow's really close. And all these other little ones, they're only worth kind of 2 points each. Just try to sort out the front lines a bit here. Oh yeah, we captured Smolensk. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay. I think that's a good point to end it on. So we captured Smolensk, started advancing in Leningrad. The Germans have advanced a lot in the Ukraine and Poland. We've also pushed forward a fair bit in the Caucasus. So there are some more Greek risings up in Greece, obviously. Japanese have reconquered South Arabia, but Seems to be a bit of a stalemate in Southeast Asia and Central Africa. And no, New Zealand doesn't advance anymore, things not much the same in the Pacific. So, well, hopefully we'll be able to defeat the Soviet Union next time. They are currently at 91% of the way to surrendering. So that's something to look forward to. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all next time.